Hey everyone, here I am again with only a face. I guess it doesn't matter because I'm in my sports bra anyway. Um, Happy Friday, April 20th, 2018. Today's journal pop question was sparked by a conversation that I was having with someone else on Facebook who said they don't plan because I don't know why, because I'm not going to put words into someone else's mouth. They basically don't plan. And I said I plan everything because it works for me. So here's my take on planning. So the question you guys can start journaling is, are you a planner? Why or why not? Or do you just go with the flow? Why or why not? And I think first and foremost, as people, we gotta kind of know who we are and what works for us. And so I don't know why it looks like I have a dent in my forehead right here. Um, but I plan because it works for me. Um, and so if meaning I just do. I look at the long term. I look at where I want to be. What steps do I need to take? And I start doing those things. And all of it has happened and it's continuing to happen. And um, I said this was going to be hard for me to talk about because in order for me to give examples, I have to talk about myself and accomplishments and blessings and stuff. And I don't know. But what I will say is that not everything has happened. So I did, after I got my first graduate degree, I wanted to have a PhD, but when I went back and got that second master's and it kicked my ass, and I realized that I do not want to do homework, and I stopped 2 classes shy of finishing it. Um, I will get a PhD, but it will be when my kids are older and when I got time. Like, it's gonna be so leisure. I'm gonna make college look cool. Like, it's gonna be one class here and there. Like, I will get it because that's my goal. It always has been, but it's just gonna look a little different. So there are times where there's certain things that I have planned for or that I really wanted that didn't happen, that I had to adjust. And so I don't feel like the planning failed. I feel like I didn't do the work. Does that make sense? Um, because that for me, so if you are a planner, or if you want to become a planner, or if you got some goals that you want to knock out, for me, this is how it works. My faith, not religion, my faith, my relationship with God. I make sure that the things that I'm trying to do aligns up with the things, my purpose. And for me, what I found is that if it has anything to do with making me a better person, my character, or benefiting me and my children, I always get the green light. It's never like God is never like, not right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's steps. It may not happen the next day or the next week. It might happen in a year, but everything that I'm doing up until that point prepares me for when the opportunity presents itself. Um, the second part of that is believing. So a lot of times, a lot of things where I'm at right now, um, I essentially believed in this life before this life even existed. Does that make sense? So I just believed, and this is what I really wanted in my heart to hearts. That's so another thing for me is I believe in like the power of thoughts and words. So I used to really envision this crazy life that I have. It's not even crazy for some people. It's just hectic. It is busy, but this is the life I wanted, and if I didn't, I would change it. Um, when I was married to my kid's dad and I was a stay-at-home mom, I always wanted a degree. I don't know why. I always did. I always wanted a degree. And I got married at 19. I didn't have a degree. And so I remember I would just be there like thinking, kind of fantasizing about having a degree, having this and that, and that and this. And lo and behold, I did it. Um, Not saying that's the best thing I should have done because I had a good life. I was happy married with my kids, but I also still had these desires to be independent. I don't know why. It's just who I am. I accept it. I appreciate it, and I love it. Um, and then let's see what else. So what did I say? I said my faith, I believe, and then the work. The work is the part that I think is underrated as well. I think that if it doesn't happen overnight, sometimes we feel like it won't happen. Couple of things that made me realize the work was important in three different like lifestyles or three different themes, right? So one is I always think about people who are in shape, and whether they don't ever diet, but if you watch the way that they eat, whether they eat small portions, whether they choose more vegetables and fruit or fast food or more real foods over sugars, and they stay naturally slim, it's because they're saying no to shit that's bad for them, whether it's intentionally or not. But that's why. um and then, because we know that food is a bigger part, and then I think about people who are in relationships. In order to have a relationship, you have to be willing to compromise and to stay through some things and to accept some things. And I'm not saying like all that extreme stuff, but it could be small. But you got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to put in the work day in and day out. Um, be selfless, pretty much, is what I'm saying. And compromising. The other part, and this is one of the things that my peer told me about her receiving a lot of promotions back to back, was because she did the work. When her boss needed stuff at her previous job, she stayed, she volunteered. Not only did she volunteer to show that she was a team player, she also learned during that process, because if you're sitting next to someone who has this responsibility or skill set and you're sitting there with them going through that, now you've learned some things. um, and so she did the work. And so for me, I don't just plan. I don't just make this list and say, oh, by the time I'm this, or by the time that happens, this is going to happen. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is where I want to be. I start researching. What do I need to do to get there? Okay. Let me pray about this. God, this is what I blah, 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 blah. What do you think? And then eventually my answers will become clear. Once I get that green light, I'm telling you, once I get a green light from God, y'all don't even understand. I'll be on it. So for me, it's like I do the work. I believe it. I really be like living and breathing that stuff. I'll be like, I already see myself in my Tesla. You know what I'm saying? I already do. Da, da, da. And it's like, that's how I know it's going to happen. That's why I be chilling. But that's all. That's all like external things that people can see. But for me, the biggest accomplishment out of anything that I've done outside of being a mom and all that great stuff, but like on myself, is the internal work. So it was so many things that I had to work on, but I planned that too. Like, I'm like, okay, today you won't do this, and instead you will do this. When you feel this way, you're gonna do this instead. So I had to train myself, train my emotions, and all these different things. It was all the internal work that really I'm most proud of, or whatever. But I believe in planning, and I share with you, if you want to plan, have faith. Have, whatever your faith is, have faith. Have something that you can hold on to know that um, there's good things in this world, and they can have your name on it. Happiness has your name on it. Joy has your name on it. Financial freedom has your name on it. I'm not even trying to sound like a guru, because Lord knows, but I'm so serious. Like, y'all have no idea. Like, just have faith in that, and then believe it, feel it, see it, all that great stuff, and then do the damn work. Like, I think that part people leave out. Do their work, or whatever. So I believe in it because it's worked for me. Um, yeah, I believe in it wholeheartedly. All right. Happy Friday. Happy 4/20, 2018. You guys have a good, happy, healthy day. I still rambled, and I still don't know if I want to post this video because I talk too much, and I'm still not sure if I articulated my answer, but I believe in planning, and those are the steps I take when I plan, and it has not failed me yet. Not at all.